so that's the Republican debate. That's the legal troubles for the leading contender. There's the other side of the aisle, too, by the way. And that, of course, is Democrats. Republicans not the only ones spreading their message today in Milwaukee. The Biden campaign and the Democratic Party, officials from the DNC, also in Wisconsin as well. They want to make sure there's a rebuttal to the Republican attacks tonight on President Biden, assuming that will most likely happen. One of those officials is Ammar Moussa, National Press Secretary for the Democratic National Committee. Ammar, thank you for being here on the Hill. First time on. Appreciate the time. So you're there in Milwaukee. Big Republican debate tonight, as we know, as we've been talking about. Why aren't there any debates on your side of the aisle?
Well, thanks for having me, Blake. I appreciate it. As you know, Blake, there's never been a party committee that's hosted a debate for an incumbent, and we're going to stick with that tradition. As the DNC voted on in a resolution in February, we stand with President Biden. We support President Biden, and we're all in on getting him reelected. And we're looking forward to watching what is guaranteed to be a clown show tonight. And I think the rest of the American people are going to watch a Republican Party that's wildly out of step with where they're at.
A clown show is how you describe it, huh? Why?
I mean, I think what Americans are going to see, and what we've been seeing over the last few months, are Republicans are going to be arguing about issues that they're just too extreme on, whether they're talking about passing a national abortion ban or cutting Social Security and Medicare, or passing tax cuts for the wealthy that ships jobs overseas, which Wisconsin has been ground zero for. I think everybody remembers in 2018 when Donald Trump promised, just 30 minutes away from here, that the Foxconn factory that was going to bring 13,000 jobs to Wisconsin. I don't know if you've seen the news recently, but Foxconn is actually selling assets and has downsized their plans to be here in Wisconsin. And actually only the jobs that are in Wisconsin, thanks to Foxconn, are due to President Biden and Democrats passing the Inflation Reduction Act. So I think Republicans have proven time and time again over the last few months that they're just out of step with where the American people are.
So let me ask you, you describe this as a clown show. You say Republicans are out of step with the American people. But poll after poll after poll, Ammar, recently shows when you put Donald Trump next to Joe Biden in a heads-up matchup nationally, it's essentially a coin flip. Why is that the case?
Well, I've done a few campaigns in my time, and I've known not to ride the roller coaster anymore. But what I do know is that it's August of 2023, and I wouldn't put a lot of stock into polls. I don't think the American people are tuned into presidential politics. It's summer. There's been a lot happening, and I think that the American people are rightfully just kind of tired of what has been a very supercharged environment over the last few years. So what I think, I wouldn't put too much stock into the polls, but I will highlight what we're going to be running on going into 2024. And if Donald Trump ends up being the nominee, which it looks like he will be, we have a really, really, really strong case to make where Democrats have delivered, President Biden and Democrats have delivered on, quite frankly, a lot of the promises that Donald Trump failed to deliver on, whether it's capping prescription drug prices or capping insulin prices or bringing manufacturing jobs back to America. So I feel confident that when Americans tune in to the race probably this time next year, we have a very positive and affirmative case to make.
Hey, Ammar, I got to run, but before I do, of course, one of the big headlines tonight, Donald Trump not there. When it gets to the general, is the Biden campaign committed to having President Biden debate in all three of the presidential debates?
I honestly, to be honest with you, Blake, we haven't had a single conversation about general election debates on the Biden campaign at any level. So I think we'll see what happens going forward, but I think we're all looking forward to watching tonight's debate.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.